So yesterday's program, I'll open once. Right. One minute. Right. So this is our environment. You have to wait until it is ready. Right. Right. So look here. Yesterday, I executed the application, not program. I am not running Java program. I am not running any other file. I am running application because we have to run the application. www.irctc.co.in. We run the application, not programs. www.facebook.com. We run the application, not the program. Because I am not running the program, I am running the application. So we are deploying the application. Very careful. We are deploying the application. Yesterday, right, execute the servlet application. I made a statement. Right click on dynamic web project. Don't right click on any file. You have to right click on the application.
And guys,
name, actually.
tomorrow,
Right
before coming to tomorrow's class, I want you to,
right
everyone, please practice this program minimum 3 times.
Okay.
Minimum.
So right click on dynamic web project, then run as, run on server, then select the server type and click finish. See, I am running. Right click on the application, run as, run on server. Here, of course, we are using only Tomcat. Tomcat is there. If any other server, if you wanted 2 servers, you can keep it. Any other WebSphere or any other, you can keep it. So which server you want, you can select it and deploy it. No issue. You can add more than 1 server and you can keep it. So we are adding the Tomcat server. Select this and click on finish. Whenever I click on finish, the application is loaded onto Tomcat. Today I'm going to draw the diagram. Flow. If you understand the flow only, today you must do the assignment by your own. So if you understand the flow only, you can write the assignment. Program is not important. Concept is important. If you copy my program, the program will run, right? But you have to catch the concept and write the new program. That's only important here. So for this, if I click on finish now, my application is loaded. into Tomcat server. Means Tomcat server started and my application loaded. After application loaded, what has been happened, I will draw the diagram today. How my result came out, I'll draw the diagram. If I say click finish here, then Tomcat server started. Tomcat server started here. This is console. Server started. After Tomcat started, my application loaded actually. After my application loaded, input.html is coming. So how it is coming, I'll show it. Okay, right. Now see there, HTTP localhost 8082 Servlet app 1. That is the URL. So this is the URL. This is. So HTTP localhost 8082. This is our application. So application loaded. That's the meaning of it. Application loaded. Now I'll enter the data. Some Raj, roughly. Raj at the rate of gmail.com. If I click on display, then Servlet program is executed. Then Servlet program will give the result. So what has been happened, I'll draw one small flow. In the background, how many objects are created, I'm going to show to you. So that you have to catch it. Okay, right. Can I start it now? Right. Okay. Today's class is, sir, yesterday the program executed. I want to know the flow, where it started, where it ended. Execution flow of above application. Execution flow of above application. This one. So whenever I deploy my application, this will be the URL. Okay, right. Now, right. This is the URL. Right. This is a URL now. HTTP means your protocol request, hypertext transfer protocol request. Local host means Tomcat server available in the same computer. 8082 means port number of Tomcat. By seeing that line, Tomcat is detected and on. That all red lines are coming. After Tomcat is successfully on, our application is loaded. Our application is loaded. When the application is loaded into Tomcat server, when the application is loaded into Tomcat server, automatically one object is created. Automatically one object is created. The object name is Servlet context. One object is created, Servlet context. This object is generated automatically because your Tomcat server will have one nature. You never created object yesterday. Your program name is display servlet. Display servlet OB is equal to new display servlet. You not created. So who created that object means Tomcat server. Tomcat server will auto generate, auto instantiate. That's the power. Now when the web application is deployed here, when the web application is loaded, automatically one object created, name of that object is servlet context. So that the object is recorded with server information. That object is recorded with server information saying that the application loaded onto the server Tomcat. If it is WebSphere, it says WebSphere. So that object is recorded with the server information. Once the object recorded with the server information, automatically execution control will go to web.xml. Automatically control will go to where now? Web.xml. Because of this reason, web service course name is XML web service. XML is the mapping files. XML files are mapping files. So whenever you deployed your application into Tomcat server, when the application deployed, automatically one object created known as servlet context object, and the object is stored or loaded or recorded with server information. After that, the control will go to web.xml automatically. Means within that web application, 3 files are there, no? Right. One is web.xml, one is input.html, one is Java file. So among these 3 files, the control will go to web.xml. Whenever it is going to web.xml, it will look for the name web.xml spelling. So lowercase, web.xml lowercase, and the web.xml must be located in WebINF. If the location problem also, spelling problem also, program will not run, because it has to find the XML file. Then only program will be started. If not, the program will not be started. So now it found one web.xml file. Control goes to web.xml file. So the control is on web.xml. The first, the control, execution control will go to web.xml. Imagine it, the control goes to web.xml. In the web.xml, you kept one tag, that is welcome file list. That tag is executed here. See there. When the control goes to web.xml, when the control goes to web.xml, here you return one tag, that is welcome file list. This welcome file list, welcome file nothing but input.html home page. For your project, one home page will be there, no? That home page you are going to keep here. Actually, that is called welcome file list. So when the control goes to web.xml, welcome file list is automatically executed and input.html will be displayed. Observe this point or not now? So here I given input.html or not now? Suppose 5-6 HTML files are there also. Among that, you are going to decide one page as a home page, no? Right. So imagine it, input.html displayed. So here I given the information about one HTML file, input.html. Because of this reason, our input.html came as an output. Input.html came as an output. Input.html came. So the control went to web.xml through welcome file list, identified input.html came here. In that input.html, you given some information. The information is, sir, here I written action is equal to dis, majorly this only. In there you written in input.html, action is equal to dis, I written. Right. You written action, no? So the method is post and action is equal to, that is a very important action. Why means this HTML form is going to send the data to one servlet program which is running on DIS. That's the concept. Right. This form is sending the data to one servlet program running on DIS. This DIS by terminology URL, servlet URL means to identify the servlet, we are going to use it. So that is action DIS. Now I am taking username and password. So here I am taking username. I am reading one username I am reading, one password I am reading. I'm having one submit button, that is display. That is display. Here I am entering some Raj. Here Raj at the rate of I'm entering. Now whatever I entered into the text fields here, the data will be loaded onto some variables. So some variables, the variables you only decided. What is the name of the variable? And you name. What is the name of the variable? MID. So this is you name. This is MID. You name and MID. So two parameters I took it. Now uname is equal to Raj. MID is equal to Raj at the rate of. The data are available here, display. Whenever I click on this submit button, so I am submitting the data. Whenever you are submitting the data now, here DIS is there, no? Based on this DIS, one servlet program is identified. The servlet program is loaded. One servlet program is identified, that is display servlet. Display servlet. This is identified. Sir, how it is identified means based on annotation web servlet /dis. I written this or not now? I written this. So this annotation will support to identify this servlet program. That DIS, this DIS must be same name, right? Now that data will come to this servlet. Now this servlet program is identified with the URL pattern, and the request is post request. What kind of request? Post request. Sir, how can you say post request? There are written method is equal to post, no? Right. So post request is coming now. This post request is generated through HTTP protocol. That HTTP protocol will take your data and keep into that header and it travels. And it travels and finds the servlet program and loads the servlet program onto Tomcat. So loading onto Tomcat is nothing but loading onto web container. Loading onto web container indirectly. When the servlet program loaded, this you have to listen carefully. When the servlet program loaded, now servlet program, that HTTP header is holding your data. HTTP will have an header form, right? 32-bit header, 64-bit header, account to network. The data is encapsulated into HTTP protocol and traveled and came and identified your servlet program. The servlet program loaded onto your server. When the servlet program loaded onto your server, immediately one object is created automatically. one object created automatically known as servlet config. One object created known as servlet config. And the object is loaded with servlet name. Loaded with servlet name. Servlet name is display servlet. So when that servlet program loaded, automatically one object created. Name of that object is servlet config object recorded with servlet name. Once this servlet config object creation completed, means there already when the web application deployed, context object came, recorded the server information. Here when the servlet program loaded here, one config object came, recorded the servlet name. Now the servlet program is instantiated automatically, means object created automatically. Now the servlet will get the object automatically. The web container has that nature. I will create the object automatically for the servlet. I will create object automatically for the servlet. Just I am giving one number here. This object already created 0x22 roughly. Now servlet object created 0x33. Now the servlet object will get many methods. What are the non-static methods available in the class? They will available in the object. But we are highlighting three methods. What are the three methods now? init method, service method, and destroy method. They are available. Once it is instantiated, the methods are available. The first method highlighted, init method. The second method highlighted here, service method. Service method. Parameters are request and response. Here, destroy method. So we are highlighting these three life cycle methods we are highlighting. These methods. So these three methods are available in the servlet object, and the methods will run automatically in the same order. init method, service method, and destroy method it runs. See there, what is available in the init method? The first method executed from your servlet. Once the servlet program instantiated, once the servlet program instantiated, init method, service method, destroy method. In init method, code is not available. We not kept any code. So after executing this method, no impact, no change. Now the control will go to service. What is available in the service now? Sir, servlet request, servlet response. Now the service method needs two parameters, servlet request, servlet response. Because of this reason, your server, nothing but web container, will create two objects. One is servlet request object, one is servlet response object. Sir, why it is creating two objects now? Because it has to pass parameter to service. Whenever I want to start service method needs parameters. How many parameters now? Two parameters. So servlet request object created, servlet response object created. So automatically two more objects are created. servlet, servlet request object created, and servlet response object created. servlet response object created. Servlet servlet response object created. Listen carefully now. Already the data what you submitted from HTML form, the data is available in the HTTP header, right? Now it has to keep somewhere. No, how much time it holds, has to keep somewhere. So now HTTP request what is came here now, holding the data, it holds until the request object comes. Once the request object comes now, that will dump the data here, that will dump the data here. So the HTML form data available in the request object. This point you have to speak to Spring Trainer and Web Service Trainer. You have to say the statement final is whatever the data submitted from HTML form that is available in the request object. How it came here means HTTP protocol with the support of header carried and dumped here. Carried in. So how it is available here now? So how it is available here? Here I given a parameter names no here. I given a parameter names are not now. You name and MID. So they will come and load here. You name is equal to Raj and MID is equal to Raj at the rate of ... All of you understood this, and this is the basic point. All of you understood this, yes or no to me, right? So the data what you submitted from HTML form that is available in the request object. Once these two objects are ready, then the service method execution starts by taking these two objects as parameter. The service and service method starts the execution. Now service method started. Now what is available in the service method now? Some code is there or not now? So now execution started service method. Service method, while starting service method, two objects created internally. Request object is holding the data submitted from HTML form, and these two objects taken as parameter and started. So what is the logic available in the service method? See there, logic in service method. String uname is equal to REQ. REQ means request, no? Yes or no? Na? REQ dot get parameter of uname means what? We are taking the data from the request object by using a method known as get parameter. Get parameter method belongs to request. Get parameter method belongs to request and taking the data from uname and loading into servlet. Daily writing, no, scanner s is equal to new scanner, right? String s name is equal to s dot next line. You are getting the data from console, no? You are getting the data from HTML now. When the data what you submitted from HTML form, the data is available in the request object. From request object, we are taking the support of one method known as get parameter. Using this method, we are getting the data and loading onto our variable. So finally, the data is available here. Uname is equal to Raj and MID is equal to Raj at the rate of the data came from here. The data came from here. What is the method I am using here now, sir? We are using the method as get parameter method. Using this get parameter method, REQ dot get parameter of uname, REQ dot get parameter of MID. The data came inside or not now? Once the data came inside successfully from HTML form, The data came to request object. From request object, the data came to service method. So once the service method data is available here, I must send the data outside. Whenever I want to send the data outside, I am using one method known as getWriter. One method known as getWriter. This getWriter method belongs to response. This getWriter method will create object for printWriter. PrintWriter means IO class actually. I'll give the notes to you. req.getWriter method will create one object. That object is printWriter object. That object is printWriter object, where this printWriter object is linked to service. This printWriter object is linked to service. Linked to service, and this is 0x66. Now printWriter object is created. PrintWriter PW is equal to 0x66. Here one PrintWriter object is created. This is PrintWriter object. So why we created PrintWriter mean to send the data outside response. You have to send the data outside. Whenever you want to send the data, PrintWriter, we are writing the data to response, that so it will come out. Okay, right. But what kind of data you are sending through response, you must specify first. For that, we are using a method, set content type. We are using a method known as what now? Set content type. Set content type will say that we are going to send text data or HTML data from the response. This method will specify the type of data sent through the response. What kind of data you are sending means I will send text data or HTML data. The set content type will specify the type of data you are sending through the response. You are sending text data or HTML data. You are going to send text data or HTML data. Then the output will come out. Then the response will come. How means, see there? Here, PrintWriter, you're putting the data or not now? PrintWriter, pw.println message, pw dot and so on. This is coming out or not now? Dot, dot, dot. The data is recorded. Whatever the data here, you are sending to PrintWriter. From this PrintWriter, the data is coming out. From here, the data will come out as a response. As a response. This is the flow. All of you understood this and flow. Yes or no? Na? Is no also yes only. Right. Hope you are listening me, I think, right? Okay. Now the control came to where now? The first control goes to which file now? Web.xml. Very careful. Without this concept, you cannot develop your own applications, not possible. This is the basic. Why servlet programming is very hard means 90% of the students will by heart the program. Generally, they'll by heart the program. They will not try to take the concept from the program. Here, concept is nothing but automatically the control will go to XML. In that XML, I must keep my home page. Through that home page, I must submit the data. Through that data, I am going to send the data to one servlet program with one URL pattern. With that URL pattern, one servlet program will be loaded, instantiated. Data is available in the request. This point you have to catch it. Then the data will come inside. After that, this is a Java program. Whatever you want, you can do. Send to the database, manipulate, add it, whatever you want, you can do. It is a servlet program and Java program. This is the basic point now. Whatever the data submitted from HTML form, the data is available in the request. Right. Now, whatever I said to you, a few points I'll write it. 1 or 2 points for reading. Right. Okay. First one is servlet context. What is the first object created? What is the first object created now? Servlet context. I am writing servlet context, servlet config, servlet request, servlet response, print writer. What are the objects you seen there? I am writing that objects for reading purpose and for interview also. Servlet. Servlet context is an interface. Actually, it is an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically. Servlet context is an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when the web application is deployed onto server. Deployed means loaded. Servlet context is an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when the web application is deployed onto server. The servlet context object is loaded with server information. Loaded with server information. Loaded with server information. Servlet servlet config. Servlet config. Servlet servlet config is an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when the servlet program is loaded onto web container for execution. Servlet config is an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when the servlet program is loaded onto web container for execution. The servlet config object is loaded with servlet name. Loaded with servlet name. servlet servlet request, right? Servlet request also interface only. servlet servlet request is an interface from java x dot servlet java x dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically. Servlet request is an interface from java x dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically while service method execution. When the service method execution started, then the servlet request object is instantiated. If service method not executed, request object not there. Now, this servlet request object, the servlet request object will hold the data submitted from HTML form. Servlet request object will hold the data submitted from HTML form. Look here, give a feedback to your juniors. To attend advanced Java servlet program, total HTML, CSS, JavaScript not needed, only form tag is needed. Difference got this? With that awareness not there, and people do not have an awareness. So which one only form tag needed? Example, to construct one house, I need sand, cement and brick. House will be completed. After that, I'll call UI engineer, come and paint it, red color, blue color, he can do. First, my program should run. He is a painting work only. CSS, JavaScript, Angular, that all painting work only. How to make a good design. So that you don't right now. So base core part is only form tag. So servlet request object will hold the data submitted. Give the feedback, one more feedback, and JDBC. To attend JDBC, 5 queries enough. Select, retrieve, what is that? Create, insert, retrieve, update. After that, they can run triggers, joins after that. They are not needed here. Give the feedback and let them come very fastly to advance and go for the placement. Difference is getting no. Java developer means Java developer only. What will do with Oracle? Right? Sorry, I learned Oracle completely. 5 months, sir. I am very strong in Oracle. You got opportunity in IBM. What you will do? In IBM, DB2 is there. IMSDB is there. Oracle not there, no? Difference you're getting? Right. Servlet request object will hold the data submitted from HTML form. Here, very important. Whatever the names taken from HTML form, the same names available in the request. I took a uname, MID, no? The same names available here. If we change that names, null value will come. If you change the name, if you don't type that names properly, null value. Null value means default value of string is null. That will come if you change the names. servlet servlet response servlet response servlet servlet response is an interface from java x dot servlet package, and which is also instantiated automatically while service method execution. So servlet response is an interface from Java X.servlet package, and which is also instantiated automatically while service method execution. This servlet response will hold the data which is going to send as an output or response. Servlet response object will hold the data which is sent as response, right? So these are the four objects. First you have to remember it in your diagram. These four objects you have to remember it. Servlet context, servlet config, servlet request, servlet response. Anyway, this is our servlet instantiation. Anyway, three methods you have to imagine it. This is there, no? Right. For this, we use a method, get writer. Make it define get writer. Question is there. FAQ. Define get writer method. Define get writer method. Get writer method is from servlet response, and which is used to create object for java dot io dot print writer class. This class belongs to io. Be careful for your interview. Print writer class belongs to io, core java package. io, this is a class, not interface. To create object for print writer, we are taking the support of get writer. The get writer belongs to servlet response. So that is a link available from your io to java x.servlet. They kept a link. Get writer method is from servlet response, and which is used to create object for java.io.print writer. You can see that. Java p java.io.print writer. See there. Print writer is a class. To create object for this class, we are taking the support of method available in response, because we written res dot. Res means a response. Make the syntax once. Print writer pw is equal to res dot get writer. Using print writer object, we send the data as response. Using that, we can send some data as response. One more is define set content type. Define set content type. Set content type method. Define set content type method. Set content type method is also from Servlet servlet response, and which specify the type of data sent as response. It will say what kind of data is going. Set content type method is also from servlet response, and which specify the type of data sent as a response. So what is this? Set content type. That only no method. Any doubt? I written context. Okay. Content type. Okay. Set content type method is also from servlet response, and which specify the type of data sent as a response. Syntax you write and keep it. So res dot set content type. Here we write text or HTML. You are going to send text data or HTML data. So this is from above program totally. Okay, right. So this is the notes followed by your diagram and notes. So this annotation you have to wait it. This is annotation. We have to wait it. Daily use that same @ of web servlet and some URL pattern. URL pattern you can take any name, but whatever the name you are taking in the HTML file, the same name you have to take here. Right. Okay. I'll take the assignment and right. Based on this knowledge, what you gained. Assignment 1. By seeing yesterday's program execution, run this second program and third program. Right. Construct servlet application to read and display product details anyway. Already you know, no? Product details means what? Product code, product name, product price, read and display. Okay, right. Read and display means what? You have to construct HTML file. If you know CSS, JavaScript, make that page rich. Right? After execution end. Don't do before that only. First you have to make your program to run. Right? After program is running, then you are getting a bore in the lab, then you do coloring. that all coloring work you do it, painting work. So first only don't waste your time on painting work, not needed for us. Because one more engineer is taking 6 to 8 lakhs. That is UI engineer. He will do painting work. You don't do it. So take that form diagram, construct it. Okay, right. Assignment. Construct servlet application to read and display book details. You know book details also. Book code, book name, book author, and so on. Same flavor, no? You take one more also. Assignment 3. Construct servlet application to read and display employee details. Employee details, your wish. Employee name, ID, designation, whatever fields you want it, you take it and display. Right. One more statement. After program execution completed, draw the flows for above programs. Draw the execution flows for above applications and find out yourself whether you can understand the flow or not. Right. Now I'm entering into the next concept. Right. So up to now, one servlet program is running. Now I must type the second program to you. Whenever typing the second program, I'll type with the new concept added to the second program. That is request dispatcher. Make it star mark IMP. Request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. So let me open this request dispatcher first. That is one interface available from Java X.servlet package. So the way is like this. Today you hope you observed that flow, I think. So where it is going and where it is ending. And major point is the data available in the request object. From there you are collecting the data with the get parameter. I forget to give the notes on get parameter. I'll give it. Get parameter method is used to get the data from your request object. That is a major thing you observed. Whatever you observed, whether you are able to construct or not, try it. It's the last day, only one day time to you. Do it out. Because tomorrow I'll keep multiple servlets. So one servlet is today, last day for practical, means one day only. Any concept only one day, no, because lab will be there now for you. Go and sit it and try it. If not, so whenever you find a time, 2-3 hours, if you sit it will work. Interestingly, if you sit for 2 hours, it will be over. Nothing is there. So one day time before tomorrow's 2 p.m. complete that work by 3 programs and check, at least draw one flow and check it whether you understood the objects or not. So tomorrow I am bringing 2 servlets or more than 2 servlets I am bringing. So tomorrow Saturday I'll give the assignments based on 2 or 3 servlets. After understanding 2 or 3 servlets, Monday database connection will come. So your servlet will get a database connection. So all DAO operations will be performed with your servlet program. Once the DAO operation started with the servlet coding, then immediately your beans will come, attributes will come, session tracking will come. Then automatically your application format will come out. This is the flow, right? See there, Java X dot servlet dot request dispatcher. So request dispatcher is one interface. So English meaning of dispatching means sending. Request dispatching means sending. We are trying to send the request from one servlet to another servlet. That is a notes to you. Make it. Request dispatcher is an interface from Java X dot servlet package and which is used to perform servlet communications, which is used to perform servlet communications. Request dispatcher is an interface from Java X dot servlet package and which is used to perform servlet communications. Servlet communications means servlet communicating with another servlet, servlet communicating with JSP, servlet communicating with HTML. If you want to do such actions, request dispatcher is going to support you. That's a theory. Now, this request dispatcher will provide the following two methods to perform servlet communications. This request dispatcher will provide the following two methods to perform servlet communications. One method is forward, one method is include. One method is forward, one method is include. See here, two methods are available. One is forward, one is include. Two methods. Remaining all fields only. Only two methods, forward and include. Right. Make a shading forward. Forward method is used to perform forward communication process. Forward communication process. Forward method is used to perform forward communication process. Sir, forward communication means what? See there. Look here. Web browser. From this one servlet will take the request. First servlet will take the request. The first servlet will send the request to the second servlet. First servlet will send the request to the second servlet. That is forward. Now, here second servlet will give the response. Second servlet will give the response. A response is given from second servlet. This is known as forward actually. So one servlet will take the request and forward the request to the second servlet. Second servlet will give the response. This kind of thing we call it as forward communication. See there, same points I'll make down. In forward communication process, first servlet will take the request and forwards the request to the second servlet. In this process, second servlet will give the response. In forward communication process, first servlet will take the request and forwards the request to second servlet. In this process, second servlet will give the response. In bracket, second servlet can be replaced by JSP or HTML. If you want, you can replace the second servlet with JSP or HTML. So include communication here. Include method is used to perform include communication process. Include method is used to perform include communication process. So here, include communication process means like this. So web browser, client or user. Now first servlet will take the request. First servlet will take the request. Now first servlet only will generate the response. First servlet only will generate the response. Response will be given by the first servlet only, but what first servlet will send one communication mode to second servlet. Second servlet, that is include communication. Include communication. Now the response came from first servlet only, but the first servlet is sending one communication mode to second servlet. The meaning is, second servlet, you send your response to me so that I'll include it and send it. That's the concept. So the response belongs to first servlet only, but the response is included with the response of second servlet. Response of second servlet. This we are calling it as include communication. Right. In include communication process statement. In include communication process. In include communication process, first servlet will take the request, and generate response. The response is included with the response of second servlet. In include communication process, first servlet will take the request and generate response, but the response is included with the response of second servlet. That's called include. Here also same. Second servlet can be replaced by JSP or HTML. So here comes your diagram. Right. Tomorrow I'll give the syntaxes, right? How to create object for request dispatcher and so on. Okay, right? Just theoretical notes I given. So tomorrow's class is the 3 assignments are there for you. Among the 3 assignments, I'll write solution for 1 for tomorrow. I'll write one solution. If anybody struck down in that assignment, how I typed it by tomorrow, first 15-20 minutes, watch it. I'll give the solution for one assignment. After giving the solution for one assignment, I'll type the program based on this request dispatcher. That's a plan. Okay, right. After that, I'll give the syntax and I'll type one program. Based on this, one assignment will be given by tomorrow. That's a plan. Got it right? Right. Take a break. Thank you very much for today.